Shalom, shalom, Akim and Akwab. This is your brother Azariah. I want to start by giving all the praise, all the honor, and the glory to Yahawah, Ba'asham, Yahawashi, Yahweh being the true name of the Most High God, and doing so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. But we know the true name to be Yahawashi, and He is the Hamashiach, or the Messiah. All right. What I want to do real quick is just kind of get into a very short class on Pentecost, just a quick tie-in. You know, Yahweh willing, or even Yahweh forbid that we hear another year, which, you know, if I'm able to do a longer dive into more detailed lesson, we'll get a chance to do so for, you know, Pentecost next time around. But, you know, we can't call it. We don't know. You know, the times is moving. So for now, we'll just get a quick little small simple understanding. You know, Pentecost, very short, but, you know, really the next high holy day that comes in after the Passover / Feast of Unleavened Bread. So we're at Acts 2:1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. Now, when you go into that word Pentecost, all right, when you go into the word Pentecost,
Strong's G 4005. Pentecoste.
The Greek word Pentecoste, all right, and it reads, right, the definition literally is the 50th day, right? And now it goes in the definition, you said the second of the three great, you know, we know this is the Jew, right? The great Jew, or, you know, feast celebrated in Jerusalem yearly, the seventh week after the Passover. So you're going to count 7 Sabbaths, right, in grateful recognition of the completed harvest, right? So, of course, you know, from the Passover, the week after, right, that week, that first Sabbath after the Passover started, right? So you're going to count them 7 Sabbaths, right, after the day after your conclusion of the Feast of Weeks, or Unleavened Bread. So that next day, the first day of the week following after your Shabbat completion, going into the next week, start from there, you count 7 Sabbaths. From there would be the Feast of Pentecost. All right. So we see that, and it literally means it's the 50th day. So that tells you right there that how they correlate were from the Passover / Feast of 11 weeks into the day of Pentecost. Should be 50 days from that following, you know, beginning week after the completion of it. All right. So let's take it to the top. Let's go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 23. All right. And we're going to go in verse 10. Start at 9. Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. Now, obviously, you know, this, you know, dealing with the sheaf, the grain in the sheaf, we're obviously not going to be able, the majority of us, I'll say, the majority of us are not going to be able to hold on, you know, or do that. So this is really, most of it's an observation day. All right, this is mainly an observation day to hold holy unto our hearts, because it is a day to keep. It is a high holy day, one of the Lord's mandatory days of keeping, you know. And if you can keep it to, like, you know, being off of work, requesting off, you know, by all means, the same rules apply. On a Sabbath day, this is the Shabbat, the same rules apply on these high holy days, then we do that as well. Right, we don't avoid it, you know what I'm saying? We do the best we can to keep our commandments. If you can't, obviously that's a different story, if it is what it is. But, you know, if you can, you know, you do the best you can to try to, you know, like in any other high holy days, you know, get them times off, you know, if possible. But back to the scripture, shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and ye shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it, because of course we're not dealing with, you know, Levitical priesthood at the time as well. And ye shall offer that day when you wave the sheaf of an he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yahweh. And of course, this is key. This is where, you know, this is really key when it comes to Yahawashi. We see how this ties in, how important this is, because this is really is clear as day that it's all about him. So anyone, not incorporating Yahawashi into the mix, you should see you're not going to get the completion of what this day especially, but any of these high holy days are really about, because they all foreshadow a representation of him. The whole law is the volume of the book. All right. Verse 13, the meat offering shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, and of offering made by fire unto Yahweh for a sweet savor, and the drink offering there shall be of wine, the fourth part in hin. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day ye have brought an offering unto your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings. Right? And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh. Right? And I'll just now verse 18, ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish. Now, okay, so we understand going to this, you offer these offerings, the everything's without blemish. Well, who's without blemish? Who is the lamb without blemish? That'd be a Mashiach Yahawashi, right? Let's transition over. He's the first fruits. So let's start off with this precept right here in 1 Peter chapter 1. We're going to start off at 18. All right. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of a Mashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you. Right? Who by him do believe in the Most High God Yahweh, that raised him up from the dead and gave him glory, that your faith and hope might be in the Most High God Yahweh. All right, he's also the first. So we see the blemish, right? The offering, which is of Yahawashi Mashiach, with representation of the lamb thereof, offer without blemish, right? He is that lamb without blemish. That's what these meat offerings, any of these offerings, the lamb offering without blemish is representation of him. It's just like with the Passover. It's a correlation, and you see how they connect in their own way. They have their own way of connecting. It's all through the Mashiach Yahawashi. Let's go now into 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 20. But now is Mashiach risen from the dead and become the first fruits of them that slept. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in Hamashiach shall all men be made alive. So he is the first. We know that Hamashiach is the first fruit risen from the dead, the first example to be shown of dying and being resurrected in the new, and on top of that, in the celestial body. So the believers will follow that example. Those who are the chosen of the elect and the chosen multitude, they will be resurrected in Hamashiach, transformed the same way. The first fruits of them that slept. Yahawashi has he has to be the first. He's the first of it, from the first creation, the beginning. All right. Verse 23, but every man in his own order, Hamashiach the first fruits, afterward they that are Hamashiachs at his coming. See that? I'll read 24. For then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahweh, even the Father, when he shall put down all rule and all authority and power. So you see, this whole high holy day is another tie-in, and this is how the Most High ordained it. He tied it into the belief in Yahawashi, how he'll be the first fruit, right, of the resurrection, lamb without blemish. This is a day we observe of such, as a Shabbat and rest day, and understanding this, and continuing to build upon it. Like I said, there's plenty more scriptures to go into this. I recommend checking out the principle, the brother Aharon and Principles of Yahawashi. You go on the High Holy page, High Holy Days on the playlist, and he's got a very detailed, good class on, dealing with the Feast of Pentecost and the rest of the High Holy Days too, but just talking about that pertaining to this matter, the topic at hand. So yeah, I hope this was edifying, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth that are learning and or teaching this gospel in truth and sincerity. Happy or Ashar Feast of First Fruits, or Happy Pentecost. And until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.